4radio.com.
Rodeo Silver was founded in 1997. Our goal today remains the same as it was back then, to provide you, our customer, with a quality custom buckle at an affordable price. From 1 to 100, our buckles are all made one at a time by hand. Our only limit is your imagination. Give us a call today at 800-550-7535 and let us help you design your next trophy buckle. That's Rodeo Silver, Llano, Texas. Find us on Facebook or at TrustRioSilver.com. Proud to be part of She's Gone Country with the CB Cowgirls.
Rebecca Lawler Limited is the culmination of a lifelong dream for philanthropist and designer Rebecca Lawler. She designed her patented, unique glass heart, which is handcrafted by glass artists in Virginia. Placed in the center is a brilliant gem. The heart can be worn with the Rebecca Lawler Limited signature ribbon or an awareness ribbon of choice. To join the mission of the Hearts of Hope Foundation and add a Rebecca Lawler signature heart to your own personal style, go to RebeccaLawlerLimited.com. That's RebeccaLawlor Limited.com.
American Hat Company is known throughout the world as the hat preferred by rodeo champions, ranchers, everyday cowboys, cowgirls, and rodeo fans. From the arena to the boardroom, no one does it better. Handmade in Bowie, Texas, American hats are made with tradition in the old-fashioned way. From the finest in felts to the best in straws, there is an American hat for every occasion. The CB Cowgirls are proud to have our ambassadors wearing the #1 hat in the world. Thank you, American Hat. Find your own American hat at your favorite retailer. American Hats, handcrafted since 1915.
She's Gone Country with the CB Cowgirls is proud to have as our charity of choice Man Up Crusade. Man Up is working in the Western world to reduce domestic violence in society and contribute to social change by promoting safe and healthy relationships. Growing up in a violent home is one of the most terrifying and traumatic experiences a child can go through. Let's work together to help those afflicted to stand and know they're not alone. Find out more at manupcrusade.com. Take a stand and break the cycle of domestic violence.
This is 4Radio, a media platform used to elevate voices and empower dreams.
All right, rodeo fans, it's time for She's Gone Country with the CB Cowgirls. Introducing your host, Becky Christensen, and co-host Vicki Christensen O'Shields. Presented to you by Boyd Gaming. Hey, let's ride.
Well, welcome to the show. This is Becky Christensen, your host of She's Gone Country, the CB Cowgirls. I just want to say thank you so much for those who are tuning in to our weekly broadcast. If you're tuning in, we've kind of changed things up a little bit. We used to do our show live, or listeners could call in, but we have switched gears and we are doing a pre-recorded show now each week. And so you can find us on several different places. You can find us either, of course, on Facebook, or you can go to our website at shesgonecountry.us and click the radio show tab. And, of course, we now, thanks to one of our wonderful sponsors, and that's Bill McRoberts at Field of Frame, we are now also uploading our shows each week onto YouTube. So you can catch the full broadcast on our YouTube page. Just Google SGC and it should pop right up. So I want to also say thank you really quick to all of our sponsors that make our show possible each week. And of course, we want to say thank you to our presenting sponsor, Boyd Gaming, and the Cinch Shootout, Riding for the Fans. We partnered with them this year in Las Vegas, and that was a great collaboration that we got to have with them, and we are thankful that they are our presenting sponsor this year through 2017. I want to also say thank you to, of course, Trace Rios, who have been with us since day one, American Hats, 4Radio, Rodeo Spot Marketing, Cinch, Robbins Photography, and Challenge of Champions Tour. So thank you so much to all of our sponsors. I want to introduce to you tonight my lovely aunt and co-host, Vicki Christensen O'Shields. Vicki, how are you this evening?
Good evening, Becky. Hey, I am doing good. It's raining here in Texas. We need a little bit of rain, and just looking forward to tonight's broadcast.
Well, I'm glad you got the rain. We have some sunshine, a little bit of reprieve up here in the Northwest from all the snow. I know our whole western United States and our East Coast is just getting hammered. I think our whole country is just getting hammered with weird weather right now. So to all those of you who are out there braving these crazy times, the folks down in California that are dealing with the dam situation, we lift all you guys up in prayer, and stay safe out there. Winter's almost over and spring is in the air. So, and Vicki, I'm glad things are. Yeah, and I want to talk real quick. You are kind of on to a new little adventure. What are you up to?
Oh, wow. Well,
catch you off guard, I know.
I know you definitely caught me off guard, Becky. But between Tres Rios Silver and She's Gone Country and all the other things that go on in my life, I'm now involved with Monet, which is a completely natural hair product. I mean, it's just phenomenal. And so anyway, that's what I'm doing, and it's really wonderful to be able to provide a product that has a wonderful purpose and serves people and actually provides another means of income for women. So anyway, any of y'all out there, if you want to know more about Monet, Facebook me a private message.
Awesome. Well, I also want to bring to the show tonight and welcome our beautiful Ms. U.S. Ambassador for She's Gone Country with the CB Cowgirls, Bobby Jean Olson in Arizona. Bobby Jean, how are you?
Well, I have to say you guys are the beautiful ones. I'm so super excited to be here visiting with everybody this evening. And I have to just kind of brag a little bit that Arizona's weather is spectacular, but that's all I'm going to say.
It's always so fun.
No, it's beautiful in Arizona, but it's like we'll talk about maybe June 30th this coming year.
Yeah, then I'll be heading your way, right?
Well, we'll all be heading to the Northwest, Bobby, because it gets pretty hot here too.
Yeah.
Yes, and that brings me to our lovely, wonderful guest that's joining us this evening, because she can vouch, because she's from the Northwest and our hometown we share here in Spokane, Washington. While you guys are suffering in 100-degree heat and want to come this way, we'll probably be maybe 55 by June. Maybe, end of June we may hit the 80s. So I want to welcome to the show our friend. She's a beautiful gal. I met her 2 years ago at Moses Lake, but she actually was Miss Spokane Interstate Rodeo. She went on to be Miss Rodeo Washington, and she was the first Miss Rodeo Washington to win the coveted title of Miss Rodeo America last year, 2016. Miss Katherine Merck. Katherine, how are you tonight?
I am wonderful. Thanks for having me on. It's just such a great reunion with you three ladies, so I'm so excited to talk to you.
Well, Katherine has so many accolades that we could talk about all evening long, but, and she was so busy during her reign as Miss Rodeo America. We caught her here and there, and we got to capture a few minutes with her in Moses Lake. But, Katherine hails here from the Northwest in Spokane. She was queen at the rodeo I produced for 7 years, the Spokane Interstate Rodeo. She's already has a 4-year degree from Notre Dame. She's working on her college degree from Gonzaga. And we just wanted to catch up with Katherine and see how her life is evolving from Miss Rodeo America 2016 into the life after the crown. So, Katherine, I'm excited to have you on. I know we have correlations, not just you and I, but, as a Miss Rodeo Washington, my Aunt Vicki was a former Miss Rodeo Oregon, so you guys have that competition familiarity that you can connect with. And, of course, you met Bobby Jean. She got to host the Miss Rodeo America 2017 pageant with you when you transferred your title over to Miss Texas. So, girls, we have so much to talk about, and I'm just actually going to turn the floor over to first Aunt Vicki. Aunt Vicki, what about this lady?
Oh, wow. Oh, Katherine, what an honor it is to, be in your company this evening, because you have, just lifted up cowgirls everywhere across our nation and across the rodeo world. In Australia and, Canada. It just goes on and on. But, my question right now, and I have, I know that we have a lot of questions for you, but what are you doing right now, Katherine? The pageant's over. You gave your crown away in December at the WNFR. What have you been up to since then?
Well, honestly, as soon as I gave up my title, I decided I've always wanted to learn to rope, did not grow up roping. So I went down to Texas to try to learn to rope for about a week, absolutely loved it. And then I dove back into the reality of law school. So I'm in my third and final year right now, and I will graduate in December. And thanks to the Miss Rodeo America Scholarship Foundation, I'm actually graduating totally debt-free. So that is the greatest gift imaginable.
Wow, what an accomplishment. The Western world is so proud of you, Katherine, and all that you contribute to everyday life. Bobby Jean, you were, of course, one of the MCs along with Brett Jordan during the coronation of the new Miss Rodeo America. So, you got to work hand in hand with Katherine in Vegas.
Well, when I first was sitting there and Katherine walked into the room, talk about a glowing spirit. Her soul was so magical, and you could see this giving heart just oozing out to everybody. I mean, everybody just stepped up another level when she walked in the room. And the more that I learned about Katherine, I just was so impressed with this beautiful lady. And she's not beautiful just on the outside. She is beautiful on the inside. And I was curious, Katherine, you, like I said, you have such a giving spirit about you. What are you doing now to help out and give back to others?
Oh, well, Bobby Jean, thank you so much for the kind words. I just loved working with you. But I'm loving starting to give back to the rodeo queen community. I had the opportunity to go down to Greeley, Colorado, and help with the Miss Rodeo Colorado clinic. And then last weekend, it really came full circle because I had the opportunity to serve as a judge at the Miss Spokane Interstate Rodeo pageant. So that was incredible because just 3 short years ago, I was trying for my first title. I really felt not only volunteering my time as a judge, but being that judge who's been in those shoes and encouraging that girl was incredible.
Oh, wow. Rodeo full circle, Katherine. What an honor to be able to come home and to help these girls that, you know, they all look up to you, and absolutely with good reason. You've just been a beautiful Miss Rodeo America.
Well, Katherine, this is Becky, and I have to share a little bit. Katherine and Sabrina and I met up for coffee last week, and she was so sweet. I took a picture of them, and I thought about posting it, but I thought, I'm not going to do that, Tim, because Sabrina picks apart every picture I take. So, but they were so cute. They were sharing horse videos, and Sabrina, of course, was showing Katherine Cotton, Keeley's horse, and they were just sharing different pictures back and forth and telling stories of their horses and their animals. And I'm listening. I'm talking about different things, but I just think Katherine is such a great role model for young girls. We talked about college. We talked about the benefits of going to college and what college has done for Katherine. And, what I find unique about Katherine and what I found unique about Katherine when I met her 2 years ago, and I just want to touch on this before we go to the break, and then we'll go to a break and come back. But, Katherine, we met 2 years ago, which is hard to believe, in Moses Lake. I was judging the Moses Lake competition, Moses Lake Roundup Rodeo Queen competition. And we had some time to kill while the girls were getting ready for interview and the coronation and so forth. And so we did some mock interviews. So she was Miss Rodeo Washington at the time, and we came in and we visited and did a mock interview with her. And what, Katherine, you have gone through from your journey has been such an interesting journey because you, by nature, like you said on Friday, you grew up in the city, but you had a passion for animals and a love for horses and a love for the Western way of life and everything that encompasses. And that Spokane, we're up here in Spokane. Spokane's pretty urbanized, so the whole country way of living is close but kind of far removed. And so Katherine has really been great about finding a way to let evolve in the country and the Western world and rodeo in itself. And one of the questions I asked her is, Katherine, what are you going to do after the crown to stay involved with rodeo to show that this crown isn't just what you're chasing, that it's more about the way of life? And it was such an interesting conversation. So when we come back, I want Katherine to talk about what she has coming up in the near future and how she really has enmeshed herself into the culture of the rodeo world and really become family. And this is who she is, even though we're in the city limits of Spokane. So we'll be right back with more of Miss Rodeo America 2016, Katherine Merck, Life After the Crown. Stay tuned.
4radio.com.
All of us here at Tres Rios Silver are proud to offer a complete award lineup, from saddles, tack, and all in between. Tres Rios is your one-stop shop. Give the shop a call today to discuss your association award needs with one of our family design staff. And don't forget to shop online with us for that special gift. Our new online store features beautiful jewelry, tees, caps, and much more. Proud to be part of She's Gone Country with the CB Cowgirls. That's Tres Rios Silver, Llano, Texas. Find us on Facebook or at TresRiosSilver.com.
In today's busy world, it's nice to know that help is just a moment away. Andrea at Rodeo Spot Marketing is your one-stop shop. Full-service web and graphic design service, along with photo projects, printing services, marketing, and promotional. Let their staff take the stress off you and put a smile on your face. Always creative, always competitive priced, always working for you. That's Rodeo Spot Marketing. Find them at rodeospot.com. Tell Andrea the CB Cowgirls sent you.
Abraham, David, John the Baptist, and Jesus were all seeking a wilderness experience when they would flee to the desert. Join Higher Ascent for a one-day or multi-day wilderness experience where we seek God in the stillness. Visit us at higherascent.com.
She's Gone Country with the CB Cowgirls is proud to have as our charity of choice Man Up Crusade. Man Up is working in the Western world to reduce domestic violence in society and contribute to social change by promoting safe and healthy relationships. Growing up in a violent home is one of the most terrifying and traumatic experiences a child can go through. Let's work together to help those afflicted to stand and know they're not alone. Find out more at manupcrusade.com. Take a stand and break the cycle of domestic violence.
4radio.com.
Welcome back to She's Gone Country with the CB Cowgirls. This is your host, Becky Christensen, and I just want to thank you so much for tuning in this evening and joining me with my beautiful co-host, Vicki Christensen O'Shields, and my beautiful guest co-host, our Ms. U.S. Ambassador for She's Gone Country, the CB Cowgirls, Bobby Jean Olson. And I guess I should correct that because I am newly married, and my name is now Becky Christensen Mapston. I have to remember to say my whole name now. It's a transition.
I wasn't going to say anything.
And I am very honored to add Mapston as my last name, so I just want to make sure that I correct that. But we are visiting with our friend here in Spokane that has spent the last 3 years representing rodeo here in the Northwest, here in Spokane, the state of Washington, and on to the nation as Miss Rodeo America 2016, Katherine Merck. Katherine, welcome back, and thank you again for joining us this evening.
Thank you again for having me. And I have to say, the wedding was fabulous. For those of you who don't know, it was during the Gold Card reunion in Vegas. And what an amazing event. Truly the embodiment of what rodeo family means to all of us.
Well, thank you. It was a fun time. I didn't have any contacts, and so I didn't wear my glasses. So it was really great to actually get the pictures back and get to see the whole venue as a whole because I couldn't see anything without my glasses. So.
Well, you stood beside the right fella. I mean, you and Gray are married, Beth. You did good.
I was able to say I do. So, anyway, before the break, I was sharing with the listeners about Katherine's whole just involvement and how she's really enmeshed and really become what rodeo is to all of us, and that's family. And Katherine, share with our listeners a little bit about how that's transcended from, being Spokane student, Notre Dame, college bound, and now you're here in rodeo, and it's a way of life, and it's who you are, in essence, at your core now. Tell us about that.
It is 100%. And actually, I wrote my Notre Dame admissions essay on the topic, Cowboy is born, not made, because I think it's something we have in our blood, and it's just a matter of time until we get back into this cowboy and cowgirl ways. So, but what truly, like we were talking about earlier, what truly hooks you into the Western way of life is that rodeo family and community. And I traveled all over the country last year, but I knew no matter where I went that I'd be taken care of by that rodeo family. So I am just, I have 6 horses of my own at home. I said I'm learning to rope, just got my own little rope horse, actually a pickup horse I rode throughout last year. And I'm just really trying to give back to the rodeo queen community and the rodeo world as much as I can. I mentioned some clinics and coaching, but I'm now on the Miss Rodeo America National Advisory Council, which I am so excited about because this organization means so much to me and what we're doing for young women, not just Miss Rodeo America, but all the state title holders. And on the rodeo side of things, I am so excited to be working for Survey Championship Rodeo Company down in Rodeo Houston and managing with one of my best friends, last year's Miss Rodeo Colorado, we are managing the saddle horses, the flag girls, all of that behind the scenes. And to have that honor at such a big rodeo, I'm just absolutely thrilled.
Wow. Well, Katherine, this is Vicki, and I can assure you Rodeo Houston is like no other rodeo, and I just can't wait to meet up with you down there and capture some great interviews for She's Gone Country with the CB Cowgirls, and what an honor it will be to see you there. So we'll get together and mark our calendars to make sure that we can hook up.
I am so excited about that.
Well, Bobby Jean, you know, when you were on stage and hosting the show and getting to see the interactions of the girls and you know, just what they're preparing for, and I think you got a really up-close and personal look, and I think you understand how busy their year is, and you yourself are super busy with all that you do. What do you think is really important that, you know, after the crown that Katherine can take with her that you've learned in your busy world into her world as she ventures out after the crown?
Well, I think Katherine already knows everything. that has, I mean, she has experienced so much. But the thing that I love about who Katherine is, like I said, she gives back, and she keeps giving. She's promoting not just rodeo, but she's promoting the Western way of life, which we all live and love. You know, there's young ladies looking up to Katherine that maybe don't live in a rodeo family, but they love the Western lifestyle. And I've heard her tell young ladies, you know, these are the steps you take. Do you have a lot of young ladies that come up to you asking for advice, Katherine, about how they go about getting involved in the Miss Rodeo competitions?
Yes, I do. And I think a big part of that relatability is that I didn't run for my first title until I was 23, just because I wasn't aware of the opportunities and I wasn't aware of how do I even begin this process. So it may seem something from the outside, but there's such fantastic building programs, and people like myself, so many people are willing to help these younger girls get started.
And I think that helped motivate so many of them, because a lot of times I think young ladies think if you don't grow up in the rodeo family or with a lot of money that you're just not able to do it. But you have opened these doors for all these young ladies to come up and say, you know what, I can be whatever I want to be. And I just thank you for doing that and promoting rodeo and the Western way of life.
Well, Bobby Jean,
thank you, Bobby Jean.
I know. And you know what? This is Vicki, and you know what Bobby Jean just said, Katherine, holds so true, because there's so many little girls that stand outside of an arena and, you know, they watch through the second and third boards of the fence and, you know, looking at you and watching you. And what an important job, truly, and a responsibility Miss Rodeo America is, because, I mean, you are the liaison. You are the representative between the professional rodeo cowboy, cowgirl, the committee, and all of the rodeo fans. And that leads me to my next question. I know that you traveled extensively, and I know that every place you went, you absolutely fell in love with. But what one memory from your reign as Miss Rodeo America 2016 will forever be embedded just a little bit deeper than all the other precious memories?
Oh, well, there are two that really stick out to me, and they really illustrate the same point. So when I went to Corpus Christi, Texas, first time there, and I absolutely love steer roping. So I came to the steer roping slack and met Donnie Gay. Well, I absolutely, one of my heroes, just love him, love watching him at the national finals, announce every year his bull riding history. He's just such an amazing man. And he not only introduced himself to me, but actually took me out to make sure that I had the best barbecue in Corpus Christi that night, spent hours talking to me about rodeo history, and has just turned into one of my dear friends along with his entire family. So that was just incredible. And then at Rodeo Houston, so one of my favorite little girls is Peyton Tryon. She and her sister Riley, I had the pleasure of seeing at a lot of different rodeos the last 2 years. But all Peyton wants to do when she grows up is Miss Rodeo America. And I absolutely adore Peyton. But at Houston, I was able to spend a little more time with her. And Miss Rodeo Texas last year, Nikki Woodard and I curled her hair for the first time ever and gave her that real rodeo queen look. And the look on her face and her excitement was just, that is one of my absolute favorite memories. Just being able to have that impact on someone and show them the kind of kindness that one of my heroes like Donnie had shown me, that's the best feeling in the world.
Wow.
Well, Katherine, that is amazing.
Katherine, this is Becky, and you touched on it, and you said it as you were talking about those girls, and you talked about kindness. And I know that you have, I guess you would say, your motto or quote unquote a hashtag of kindness matters, and you really focus on that. In fact, I remember one of your Instagram photos, you had a Starbucks cup that had even said kindness matters on it, and I know that you really, truly, genuinely live by that. And I think so many people are blessed and are actually drawn to you because of your authenticity and who you are as a person. And I think it's really fascinating. This is just, we're running out of time, but there's a couple fascinating things that I just want to touch on real quick, and then I'll turn it over to Aunt Vicki to close out the show. But Katherine, you went to Notre Dame. We just found out she went to Notre Dame and got her degree in finance and medieval studies. That, to me, is one of the cool, fascinating things that I've learned about Katherine Merck, because that is just such an interesting course of study. So that's one thing. And then the other thing is I know, she goes to Gonzaga. And first of all, woo-hoo to Gonzaga Bulldogs, because their basketball team is number 1 ranked in the nation right now, and that's a pretty amazing feat. So, but Katherine, you were telling me last week about your attendance, and that your last year in law school is attendance-based, and that the one thing that you have found interesting is how you were just Mach 2 with your hair on fire 365 days for the whole last year, and that you found yourself very much becoming a clock watcher because it's hard for you to sit still now. Tell our listeners how you have managed to mesh rodeo and law school and still make your attendance record for 2017 and graduate.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. I'm definitely a multitasker. And so far, I think I have I've had one weekend where I haven't done something rodeo related, but something I love to do and that I'm able to do while I'm in school is, we have this in common, Becky, passion for social media. And I've reached out and I'm helping several PRCA contestants and members with their social media to increase that awareness and presence. But what's really amazing is the reason I went to law school is to help farmers and ranchers keep their land together and pass it down to the next generation. And through rodeo and through Miss Rodeo America, I have the opportunity to learn exactly in my field of study this summer in Cheyenne, Wyoming, working for the Wyoming Stock Growers Association. So they really are 100% going hand in hand with me, but I also had to approach all of my professors at the beginning of the semester and explain what Miss Rodeo America and rodeo has done for me, the scholarship amount, for example, and say, I'm so sorry, I will be missing the maximum number of classes that I am allowed to miss, but I'll do whatever I can to, keep up to date, have people taking notes from me, meeting with professors. So it's tricky, but I love to be busy and I love to multitask.
Well, welcome to. I think that's us women. We wear many hats very well. And by the way, Katherine, you do wear many hats very well. We've seen your collection of Greeley hats, and they are beautiful. So
I love it.
Well, thank you. Those are my passion and my attitude.
So with that, I know I will see you here in town locally, and we will get together, and I'm excited for you to meet up with Aunt Vicki in Houston. But I'm going to say goodnight to our listeners. I'm going to say thank you to you so much for taking time with us tonight, and I'm excited to get this broadcast out for our listeners to hear and to share with all of us on social media. But Aunt Vicki, I'm going to turn over to you. Bobby Jean, thank you so much for joining us tonight. As always, you are a blessing to us.
And
yes,
God
yes,
bless, Katherine. You just impressed me to pieces, and I know so many magical things are going to be in your future. God bless, guys. Good night.
All right.
Good night.
I'm going to turn it over to you to say close that out and say good night. So we'll see you next week, guys.
All right, Becky. Thank you so much. Thank you to Maria, our producer. Bobby Jean, we love you. Thank you for all you do. Katherine, it's truly been an honor to have you on this evening's broadcast. Once again, there's going to be a lot of little girls falling in bed tonight with dreams of being Miss Rodeo America and stepping out beyond Miss Rodeo America and doing all that you do today. God bless you, Katherine, and thank you again, listeners. Thank you. God bless. We're going to close out with our favorite cowgirl, Miss Crystal Lyons from Mason, Texas, with a little cowgirl logic. Good night, everyone.
Crystal Lyons here, and the Longhorn Bull was inside the chicken house, calmly eating hay out of the nest and licking up all the laying pellets out of the hanging feeder while the chickens were bouncing off the walls. It was a Kodak moment. Crazed chickens were flying over his back. He quietly turned his head sideways so he could fit his horns through the door and come back out. I am sure that egg production will be down for a day or so. Well, how did it happen? Well, a small gate was left open, and that's all it took to give me a laugh and cause the chickens to go ape snort and be cackling for a few hours. Did you know that not every open door is to be walked through? I've heard people say, well, I knew it must be God because it just opened up for me. Heck, I've said that myself. Some of them open doors that I walked through, thinking they were God, left a memory that isn't near as funny to me as that bull in the chicken house. You know, God wants us to be led by His Spirit, that still, quiet-sounding voice down on the inside of us that we can just brush off as nothing if we don't watch it, not some open door. Some open doors are God, but the point is we're not to be led by them. I have walked through some of those open doors before and been just as out of my element and in the wrong place as the bull was in the chicken house. Problem was, it took me a lot longer to get back out. Although, I gotta say, I have learned some valuable lessons because of it. One of which is, even if a bull eats up all the laying pellets, he still ain't gonna lay any eggs. I'm Crystal Lyons, and this is just some Cowgirl Logic. For more, go to cowgirllogic.net.
All of us here at Terrestrial Silver are proud to offer a complete award lineup from saddles, tack, and all in between. Terrestrials is your one-stop shop. Give the shop a call today to discuss your association award needs with one of our family design staff. And don't forget to shop online with us for that special gift. Our new online store features beautiful jewelry, tees, caps, and much more. Proud to be part of She's Gone Country with the CB Cowgirls. That's Terrestrial Silver, Llano, Texas. Find us on Facebook or at terrestrialsilver.com.
Rebecca Lawler Limited is the culmination of a lifelong dream for philanthropist and designer Rebecca Lawler. She designed her patented, unique glass heart, which is handcrafted by glass artists in Virginia. Placed in the center is a brilliant gem. The heart can be worn with the Rebecca Lawler Limited signature ribbon or an awareness ribbon of choice. To join the mission of the Hearts of Hope Foundation and add a Rebecca Lawler signature heart to your own personal style, go to RebeccaLawlerLimited.com. That's RebeccaLawlor Limited.com.
forradio.com.